Hey guys, it's Zaylee, and today I am wanting to share with you a few things. So I kind of covered those things before, but we're going to dive into some goodness. But before we dive into that goodness, I want to share with you a little more about who I am. So, I am Zaylee Barclay. I'm a visual content creation coach. I specialize in video content, helping you to really have the confidence to get on camera, create smart video content that positions you as the expert in your industry and really helps you sell your products and services with ease. I'm also the owner of the Start, Shoot, Grow Video Academy, which is where I do all that awesomeness. Did I say that before? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm also a Thinkific expert, which means I help you create an amazing platform and course experience for your students. And I do that through the Thinkific platform, right? Thinkific is an amazing course platform. I've been using them for years, and it has definitely been a huge part of my business. So today, that's what I'll be sharing with you guys, courses. So if you are a creator on YouTube, I'm excited to share this masterclass with you because what we're really going to do is cover a few things about YouTube and the way that most people are using it, but I'm going to share about the way that I initially used it to really just create a transformational experience for my people. So let's dive in. So the first thing I want to share with you is that I really started YouTube in a specific niche. So I was in the beauty industry, which was pretty exciting. I really loved it, and I was growing a really solid audience in that industry, but I was listening to my people, right? So I was listening to my subscribers and my followers on Instagram. And the thing that stood out the most to them was how I was able to really, really present myself in a specific way that really got people looking and wondering, well, whoa, like, who are you, right? And so that's something that I'm really, really amazing at. And in listening to them, I realized that they wanted something more from me, something different. And so if you are on YouTube right now, currently you're probably sharing vlogs, you're probably sharing, and this is just an assumption, but you're probably sharing something and people are asking you for something else. My advice to you as a YouTuber is to listen to those people, listen to what they're asking you for, and that's what's going to help you really create a whole other space for these amazing people. So when that happened to me a few years ago, what I did was I started really creating content for that space for, people who are looking to really speak to a specific group of people, improve their visual presence, and just really stand out in the online space. We all know how saturated that space is and how hard it is to really, really speak to the right people or attract the right people. Some people are doing all of the things and they still can't do that. So I really created a space where I was able to do that by actually creating an even more niched channel. Right. So that's what I had to do. I had to separate, that whole entity of myself and really drill down and, hone into what I really wanted to share. And in that, I started creating specific content that was just much more educational. And so let's dive into how educational content is the best marketing that you can ever invest in. So if you're already creating content on YouTube, then, that means that you are probably a natural teacher. If you're creating how-to videos, if you're creating videos based on tutorials or even reviews, then you are more than likely already teaching. The awesome thing is that YouTube is all about you, right? It's the you in the tube. So you're able to really create content and make it what we call, an edutational experience, meaning that it's a mixture of entertainment and education. And I love doing this because it provides a different experience for my subscribers and my students. See, what really happens is When your people realize that you are creating really in-depth, thorough content that they're able to move through easily step by step, they start wondering, oh my gosh, what is your paid content like? And so I want to explain the difference to you. So you're probably thinking, okay, so if I'm teaching on YouTube, what's the difference in a course? And the actual difference in a course is that it is much more structured, right? So your channel content is going to be intentionally messy, like everywhere, videos about everything, but your course is very structured and step by step. So the thing is, if you're creating videos for YouTube already, you are ahead of everyone else, right? And what I mean by that is most course creators are nervous about videos and, getting in front of the camera and the video tech and all of those things. So if you're already creating for YouTube, you're actually in a really good space. But when you're a YouTuber looking to create a course, you want to really think about what you want to be known for in your specific industry. Just like, we're supposed to know what we want to be known for on YouTube specifically. Well, what do you want to teach? What do you want your students to get from, your courses or from your products or your content? What is the end goal for you as an educator now that you're tapping into that world of turning your subscribers into students? And the easiest way to find out about all of this is to really dive into what people are asking you for. Kind of like what I mentioned before. People are asking me for tutorials on how I set up my cameras, on how to know what to say when they get onto camera, on how to sell their products and services without being super salesy. All of those questions came, in my comments, and I could have answered those comments and actually create even more in-depth content about the whole journey of start to finish, how to get into video, how to get confident to do it, how to figure out your strategy as a YouTuber to use your YouTube as a machine for marketing, and then how to really maintain that, your consistency, how to manage video on other social media platforms, how to launch with video content, and all of those things. So I was able to start teaching all of those things inside of my school. So get into your comments, see what people are asking you about the most, take notes on those things, and even ask them more. Go back in the comments. It's a wealth of knowledge in there, and ask them even more like, well, what are they interested in really learning? What are they struggling with as it pertains to those things? And that's really how you'll get an idea of. Now, there are some questions that will show up over and over and over again. And that's another way to figure out, okay, so this is something that I can really teach on because people are asking me. It's really good to dive into there because then you have a group of people that definitely may be interested. We all know YouTube only scratches the surface. So imagine what you can share if you really get the chance to go in depth with someone. People want to pay you, but you have to create something for them to buy. So I mentioned before that YouTube only scratches the surface of something. Let's say you create a video on how to create a video setup for your course content, right? There is so much more that's involved in that. If I create a video about that, what's going to happen is people are going to start asking more about, well, what do I say when I first get onto my online course? Or how do I create an intro video for an online course? What do I say in there? And so things like that are things that I would teach on the back end of the course, right? So your course is really your systems and processes, the way you do things. Everyone does things differently, which is why there's so much space and room for all of us. There are some YouTubers that can teach about vlogging because they are vloggers. There are some that can teach about photography because they are photographers, right? So you have to think about like, what's the in-depth stuff, or what is the point A to point Z that someone would pay for on the back end of your information. The great thing is that because you're showing up on YouTube, people want to know more and more and more about what you have to offer. Now, another thing that I want you to think about is, what is your sauce? And I like saying sauce because, sauce is what adds flavor to your foods, right? We have hot sauce, we have barbecue sauce. So what is your sauce? What's that thing that really differentiates you from everyone else in your industry? So for me, I teach video, yes, but I really teach it to people who have online courses, who are selling services and products online and in that space. And I can niche down even more and say I only serve people who really want to create course content, right? And learn how to promote and market those courses online or using video content. So using Facebook, using Instagram, using YouTube, creating a full system on how to really sell your courses and your expertise through video. And so you want to figure out, what is your sauce? What is that thing that really, helps you hone in and specialize for those people? What is that thing that people are like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for you, or you're the person that I've been looking for, or, how are other people referring you? Like if someone asks about video for courses, are they thinking about you? You want to think about things like that. That way you can really stand out. And that's really, really helpful, especially in the course space. Now, sauce could also be your personality as well. Like, what is it about you that keeps your students coming back over and over? What do they know you for? And it's the same thing with social media. What do people specifically know you for? What do they love about you outside of the fact that you have a business? You want to think about those things because those components help you to create an experience for your students. I promise you, it will have your students coming back over and over and over again because you're providing a specific experience and you're also putting yourself into it, right? So definitely think about it in that way. Now, one thing that I want to share with you is really understanding how to structure your course content. That's a huge thing because if you've never created a course before, you're probably like, what do I put where, or how do I put what, and things like that. I love to tell my students, definitely think about the end goal for your student. So I want you to really think about where they're starting and where they're ending, right? There's this thing that Stu McLaren teaches, and he's amazing. I'm definitely part of his tribe, where he teaches you how to create a success path, which is where your student is now and where you want them to be. So you take those two things and then you break it down into milestones of really what stages would they be in between those things? And that's a great way to create a course, right? So if you're able to really map out where your student is now and where you'd like them to be and what actions they need to take in between those two places, it helps you figure out, where or how you can structure your content. It even helps you get like a timeline of maybe how long this is going to take, because that can be broken down into your course modules. When you do that, I'll show you my favorite tool. It's called Workflowy, and I use that to really to add parts of my modules, to add my content, and I'll kind of walk you through that in this video. Okay guys, so this is Workflowy. I'm really excited to show you about this because I've been using it for years and it's pretty handy. So if you look here, you can see that I always have an idea of courses that I want to create. I just come in here and I lay it down so that I'm able to expand on them later. And sometimes if I have ideas, like instant ideas, I'll just start mapping them out. Now, what I love about Workflowy is that you're able to expand and collapse these lists, right? So you can look here and you can see that this is the course that I'm talking to you about now. This, is all of my ideas that I had for this course, and I mapped it out from start to finish. But what I really love is that I'm able to create something. So I'm just going to add a course here, and I'm just going to call it test. And so I'm going to go into test and let's see, test course. And what we're going to do is map out the start of the test course. So let's say this course is based on editing. So what I'm going to do is map out or just write down where someone is right now in their editing journey. So this person is a beginner and they don't know too much. They know they need to edit, but it seems overwhelming to them, right? And the thing I love about Workflow is that I'm actually able to add notes to points, but I'll show you a bit about that after. Now, by the end of the course, I'd like them to feel confident with editing. And so that is the two parts of, or with basic editing. So you kind of want to be specific as well. So now I want to think about what does it take to get from here to here, right? So first they have to understand the system, right? What what comes first in editing. So let's say, and I'm just talking off the top of my head, but let's say importing the content. And then after importing the content, let's say that we do editing of color. And then after that, let's say we, we start cutting. And then after we start cutting, we start removing unwanted footage. And then after we do that, we are going to add transitions. Like I said, this may not be accurate, but I'm just mapping out chunks of content that, someone would need to understand so that they can understand how to edit in a basic course, right? And then after you add your transitions, you would want to check it all out or add anything else that you want to add. And then you would export, right? Like I said, we don't have too much time to go all the way in depth. But what I want to do now is move this to the end here, right? So that they're able to, so we can see the map or the timeline, right? So let's say this system is InShot, which I love to use to edit my social media. So system is like whatever you're using to edit it. And then importing content, how to edit color. So I'm not going to perfect it right now, but you can see this is an entire system. Now I can go even deeper to make this a special course. For me, when I'm using InShot, I also use different apps like Canva or Over just to make my content look really fancy inside of the InShot app. So that's what I talk about when I share about your sauce. That is what's going to make my course a bit different from somebody else's, because I do different things that are specific to the way that I would like my content to look. And I have a lot of people that want that. So people are always asking me, and so I intentionally upload content that is not all the way pieced together, because when you work with me, you get that content that is pieced together. So the awesome thing is that we can see the map, and with Workflow, I can go in and actually type out like what this would entail, or even like start typing out what the copy is. This person feels overwhelmed. They tried editing before, but they gave up. They're scared to start using another program, why they should use another program, or why they should use the program that I recommend that is much more simple, and things like that. And then I get back out and I can go into systems. So the first thing that we would do in here is what is InShot, right? The second thing that we may share in here is how to download the app. And you want to really break things down. Like I said, your course is just way more structured, right? So when you're done mapping all of that out, and you can go into each thing and break it down even more, you also want to make sure that when you're done mapping that, all of that out, you want to think about your intro, your introduction for your course. So this would be in here, let's say intro, or you're welcome. And here is where you're going to cover, in this intro, you're going to cover what to expect in the rest of the course, right? So you're able to let them know that they're able to expect that they're going to learn how to import their content, how to, cut up their content, how to review their content, how to make sure that it all looks cohesive, how to create a timeline, how to add audio. Like there are so many other things that I didn't put in here, but this is just an example, like I said. And so you're able to map all of that out. And you're able to also, I love that with Workflowy, you can expand all. So I can see, like, even if I had added other things to here, I can see what that looks like. And you want to make sure that you're showing them exactly what we're going to do in the next step. And so Tiffany, the Budgetnista, don't know if you know her, but if you do know her, you're going to love her. She has a thing where she says plan, do, and review. And so it's kind of like your intro is where you plan, or you share what you're going to share. And then you do the thing that you said that you're going to do. And then you review the thing because you want to make sure that they know. So in the last module, we covered, 1, 2, and 3. And so in the next module, what we're going to cover is, right? So you want to break your content down in that way where it's really simple to ingest and where your student feels like they want to move through it. That is really, really important. So keep those things in mind. So this is how you use Workflowy. Like I said, I use it for all my courses. I use it to break things down and make things simpler. I know that I can come to Workflowy and expand everything. So you can see where I map it out into sections. I plan my videos in here. So this is what a course looks like for me. My welcome, module 1, module 2, module 3, and so on. And then I definitely wrap up and share, this is what we completed, and this is how you can take the next step or find the next course or whatever it is that you want them to do. I also spoke about notes previously. You're able to add notes. And I love that because sometimes I actually use Workflowy to record voiceovers, and I want a little note that I want to remember in a specific place. So I hope this was really helpful. I hope you enjoyed this mini tutorial on Workflowy, and you can find out more about Workflowy at workflowy.com. So obviously courses are a bit different when it comes to video. You kind of would like to, or you have to, I would say, master different types of video content, right? So you're mastering using different types of content. If you're already creating videos and you're already in the tech world, and that is great for you. But there are different types of videos that really serve different purposes. There are screen shares, there are talking head videos like the one that you're looking at right now. There are, so many different types of videos. And what I'm going to do is share some favorite tools of mine with you so that you can understand how to use videos in different ways so that you keep your students excited and engaged. And I'm also going to share with you a few tips that you need to think about when you're recording for a course. It's a bit different. For example, you never say, "Hey guys, good morning," because it leaves a timestamp on your course content, and you don't want that. So it's always good to provide different types of video content for your students just to keep them interested and moving through your course. And so one of my favorite tools is actually Canva. I'm able to come in here and create amazing presentations for my people. And when I do that, I'm able to, let's say, do a voice over these presentations. I record that in probably QuickTime or in Filmora. where I'm able to record myself speaking over the presentation itself. So I like that. I like coming in here and creating interactive and engaging content that keeps them awake, ready to learn, and moving through the content. So Canva is one of the secret tools that I use. I come in here and I'm able to manipulate my presentation, make it look amazing, still have it fall in alignment with my branding, and share inside of my courses. And this has been a real hit with my students. So that's one form of video that you can create: screen shares with voiceover, so screen recordings with voiceovers. Another one of my favorite video tools is actually called Ecamm Live. Ecamm is amazing because you can do lots of different things with it. You're able to go live on different platforms, so it's multi-streaming, and you can also add interactive ideas inside of your videos. You can add overlays, you can add an introduction to each video. It's a really amazing experience for your show's marketing and to use within your courses as well, to bring your community together. It's perfect for scheduling, so you're able to pre-schedule to specific platforms via Ecamm, and it has amazing green screen capabilities. I like that you can screen share and share your screen, so if you're showing a process or giving an answer to someone, you're able to use Ecamm Live for that. And the amazing thing is you can also use Ecamm for recording. So let's say you're not live and you just want to record something for your people, you can do that as well. So it's really multifunctional, and it's a really amazing platform for the person that is looking to use an extra or additional form of communication with their students in their courses. Okay guys, let's talk talking head videos for a bit. So talking head videos are obviously where you're seeing your face and you're talking or sharing something. These are great for introductions. They're great for your sales pages. They're also great for welcoming your students into the course and letting them know what you're going to be covering with them next. I love talking head videos or even demonstrational videos so that you're able to share a bit more with your student, and you're also able to actually show them. So depending on your type of course, you have to think about what type of video is going to bring around the best goal or best, way, the best explanation, I would say, for your student. So you don't want to do a screen share video where you should be demonstrating something. You want to kind of put the time into thinking about the goal of your video, or what's the best way for your student to learn what you are trying to convey. So that's a huge part of us understanding how to use videos for courses, versus YouTube videos. So you want to make sure that you're using these types of videos to also create a deeper connection with your student, because when they see you, it's like you're next to them. It's like more of an in-person connection for learning, and I really do recommend switching up your video content as it pertains to what you want your student to get out of your courses, out of your modules, out of your lessons. So take a few minutes to think about that before you create anything. Yes, let's get into some tips. These are some tips that I wish I knew before I started creating course videos, and I had to find out the hard way. So let me help you through this aspect of it. Some of it you may know, and some of it you may not. So keep your course videos short, sweet, and to the point. If you're not going to sit down and look at an hour worth of course content, please don't expect anyone else to. So keep your course videos short and sweet, and make sure that each specific video is achieving a specific goal. The next thing you want to do is make sure, like I shared before, that you are using different types of video for relevant content, because you don't want your people to lose interest in what you're sharing. You never want to timestamp your work with greetings, or another one is you don't want to say, hey guys, welcome to the Facebook 2.0 course, because then you can't use that video in the 3.0 course. So don't ever say the name of your course, and don't ever say the time. Anything that can make your video, like limit the reuse of your video, you don't want to do that. And the last thing is keep your slides just short and interactive, less worthy, so you are able to explain what you want to explain and keep them listening to what you're saying while they're possibly looking at what you have on the slide, but you don't want to put all the words on the slide because then you may say something and they might miss it because they're reading. So these tips are really, really essential, and I wish I had someone to share with me, so I am sharing with you. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is understanding if you should just create one course, a one-off course, or a membership. And so this is something that I've been doing memberships for about 4 years now, 3-4 years, somewhere there. But I've hosted different types of memberships, and I started hosting memberships because I realized that my people wanted more of me and they wouldn't mind paying for more of me. Kind of like why we have systems like Patreon, or YouTube has their own membership program. Like, we have those things because people want more of us, and if we're willing to give more, people will definitely pay for it. So rather than only YouTube, people wanted more of me and my business strategies and things like that. So I was able to create a membership on the back end of my courses where people are able to just pay for that time, that monthly fee, and they get exclusive access to content that nobody else has access to. They get attention that nobody else really has, that people would have to pay a lot more for that one-to-one, when they can join the membership and really have my eyeballs on their content, on their businesses. I'm able to help them tweak things. They get full monthly masterclasses in my membership as well. So, you're able to do that. Now, the reason why I created a membership is because I am a content creator at heart. Like, I realized that I had almost 70 courses on the back end of my Thinkific account. And I was like, you know what? The best thing for me to do is really create a membership where I'm able to serve people and give them access to courses every month, right? So if you're creating a membership, it's an amazing opportunity and experience. You will find that they'll join your membership, especially when you're creating a relationship with them via YouTube for so long. They want more of you and your expertise. So that's definitely something to think about. Now, the thing about having a membership, you have to think about if you want to offer that to people who have taken your courses only, or if you just want to have an evergreen running membership, right? For me, I decided to have a back-end membership because I realized that what I really wanted to have a membership based on was really the support and continuation of using video to show up in your business. I realized that my people needed support with that, and they needed new techniques and things like that monthly, where we can test and try things together, and I can help them along that journey, but they're already understanding how important video is. So you want to think about how your membership is gonna, help people. Definitely map that out. Map out how you're gonna create content. Like, what are you creating content about or around? What do they have access to all the time? And I love that Thinkific gives us the opportunity to bundle your content into a membership. So I have created an amazing experience for my students in there, and I'm able to use platforms like Zoom to host meetings with them, or use a Facebook group so that they have instant access. So you want to think about what other things you can add to your membership to give your students value as well. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into the difference between courses and memberships. They are two different things, and I want to share what that means for someone who is looking to either create one or the other, or both. So courses are perfect for someone who wants to deliver a specific outcome to the student. Courses are really very to the point and helping you just achieve something that, you're looking to achieve, obviously. So there's limited support in a course, meaning that you are present for either a period of time or not present at all. There are different ways you can deliver your courses, which leads into us understanding open, close, and evergreen courses. So there are courses where you may have a 4-week period where you're working along with those people, right, for 4 weeks, which still gives limited support. Evergreen may mean that you have a funnel that is leading to your course content, and this essentially means that you don't have to be present for an evergreen course. So a course is really also foundational. Most times a course is really to help you build the foundation of something, and the membership supports what you've built in that foundation, meaning your students. So let's say your student understands in a course how to set up their YouTube channel, how to record, and all of that amazingness. Your membership can now be based on, them them learning how to really use video content consistently, how to market their products and services with it, and so on. I'm excited to share about memberships because it really includes continued support. So it includes support that is based on exactly what you teach. But let's say if you have a membership and you're teaching about video, maybe you may want to bring in a funnel expert to speak to your video people, or maybe you may want to bring in a photographer so that they learn how to take their thumbnails, properly. That's just an example. But so memberships really create an ongoing support system for your people, and it also includes you providing content, like ongoing content to them. So a membership sometimes has no end period. Memberships are also really great for community. So, you have other people that can help each other, and they're all moving towards not a specific goal, but they're going on and helping each other. It's a great place for people to connect and thrive. Memberships can also be based on open and closed carts, meaning that you can open your membership at specific times throughout the year and close it, or you can just have an evergreen membership that is open all year round, and then that is probably connected to a specific funnel as well. So memberships are really amazing if you want to give your people, like I said before, more of you. So you're probably obviously aware that these both have different payments and pricing, right? So obviously memberships are monthly payments, right? You must know that if you do have any membership, and courses can be one-time payments or payment plans. Also, you want to remember that your course definitely has a higher price than your memberships. So if you want to, let's say you have a course that is $497, your membership might be $49, right? So that you are able to then, after they've gotten so much value from your course, they're able to pay you a set recurring price monthly for that membership access. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about in this specific section is the work involved with creating courses and with creating memberships. So obviously courses are probably a one-time course creation. You put all your time into creating that amazing experience for your students, and you're able to tweak and do minor updates as time goes along, especially if your course is sensitive to like what's going on. Example, if you have an Instagram course and we know that the algorithm and the way that platform works is always changing, so you might want to update. With memberships, however, you are able to create, it's a bit harder because you have to create more ongoing content and you have to make a commitment to doing that. But I'd really like to say, if you have your your business model well thought out, where you're going to create courses and then provide a membership for support, if you have that mapped out pretty well, then I feel like that's where the amazingness happens. So let's say you do start with a course and you're able to follow up with a membership after. By then you'll have a good idea of what it takes to create different pieces of content or courses for your membership. So just think about that. Keep that in mind so that you're able to do that same thing or that same process for your course over and over for your membership. Okay, guys, I am about to head out of here. I'm about to get the heck off of here. But I wanted to make sure that if you have any questions, you can definitely follow me on social media and ask me, because I'll be happy to answer there. I am Zaylee Barclay everywhere, all across the internet. You can also find out more about me over at zayleebarclay.com, or you can visit my video academy over at startshootgrow.com. I'm excited to connect with you there. Take care, guys.